Brainerd lawmakers are weighing in with their thoughts on upcoming amendment proposals and the Viking Stadium. Shane Lee has more.
The legislators were not campaigning, but they still brought plenty of energy to the League of Women Voters meeting. Both legislators reviewed the previous session before proposing their ideas for the next session.
The last legislation session was just as difficult for all of us, myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, as I've ever gone through.
It was hell, but I finished that session, and at the very end I said we should never, ever again have a shutdown.
Senator Gazelka proposed a constitutional amendment that would require Minnesota to use the previous budget if an agreement is not reached by the July 1st deadline. The state would follow that budget until a new one is complete.
Some have suggested doing that same thing, but having 90% of the budget or 80%. I'm okay with 100% of the budget.
Both legislators also gave their stance on the Viking Stadium issue, which has basically started all over with legislators looking for a plan.
They want a lot of money from the state. $650 million is a lot of money. And so a couple parameters that I will require. One is that we not use statewide money. And secondly, if there's money that's going to come from a sales tax, that it should require a voter, the vote, a referendum for the people to vote.
Ward actually has co-authored a bill to give the Metrodome to the Vikings with a 25-year lease.
Then they could do anything they want to renovate, the building or the grounds or whatever. And then the Metrodome property would go back on the tax rolls. To me, it's a win-win alternative.
The next legislative session starts in January, and the Vikings' lease on the Metrodome ends in February, leaving little time for debate in St. Paul. Shane Lee, Lakeland News.
Both legislators say they are pleased that the Brainerd School District will receive extra funding as a result of the levy referendum election on Tuesday.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.